This is The Space Shot, episode 279 for February 17th, 2018. Vanguard 2 and the International Geophysical Year. I'm John Molnix. Let me know what you thought of yesterday's episode. I'd like to do more question and answer episodes in the future, so send me a message with your thoughts and/or questions for that next episode. If I get enough questions, I can start making this segment a regular part of the show. I got a message from Daryl on Facebook about the movie Forbidden Planet, and I didn't have that on my calendar for March, but I do now thanks to the note from Daryl. I've got 2 launch updates today. SpaceX is targeting the launch of the PAZ satellite and the first 2 satellites that are part of SpaceX's Starlink satellite constellation for space-based internet. This launch is scheduled to take place on February 21st from Vandenberg Air Force Base. The 2 SpaceX satellites will test capabilities and technologies needed for the constellation that SpaceX will be launching over the coming years. SpaceX's satellite constellation will be massive upon completion, with almost 12,000 satellites in operation when the network is finished. If the recent Falcon Heavy launch is any indication, SpaceX is showing what they can accomplish. The company has shaken up what's been a traditionally stale launch industry, so I'm going to go on record as saying that I think they're going to be successful with this Starlink project. Even though their timelines can be a bit aggressive, I wouldn't doubt SpaceX. If these early satellite tests are successful, the company could launch a bid into a marketplace that's been dominated by only a handful of providers. SpaceX also has another launch scheduled for February 25th. The Hispasat 30W will be launching from Slick 40 at Cape Canaveral. I'll have launch updates on Facebook, so if you're not following the Space Shot on Facebook, now's the perfect time to follow along so you can make sure you don't miss the launch webcast links that I share. Now for today's piece of space history. On February 17th, 1959, the United States launched Vanguard 2, a spacecraft that was designed to study the sunlight that was reflected from Earth's cloud cover. During the launch, the 3rd stage of the rocket nudged the Vanguard 2 satellite, causing it to develop a precession or a bit of a wobble. According to a NASA history article on Vanguard 2, quote, "The sensor system worked well, indicating in considerable detail the variations of the reflected Earth radiation received by the satellite. But the data proved difficult to reduce because the satellite developed a large precession that caused it to move erratically, shifting its attitude relative to Earth. Although the experiments were therefore unable to make a complete mapping of Earth's cloud cover, the experience gained from the flight helped in designing and carrying out later meteorological experiments." The International Geophysical Year, or IGY, was proposed as an international cooperation to study geophysics at a global scale. The IGY would take place during a period of maximum solar activity from 1957 to 1958. While Vanguard 2 wasn't launched during this time, it was part of the overall effort that started during the IGY. Be sure to check out the show notes for some more information on the International Geophysical Year. It's a topic I plan on covering in more detail in the future. Apologies for the tardiness of today's episode. I've been catching up on emails and studying. I've still got a lot to do over Sunday, so here's to a productive Sunday morning. I'd really appreciate it if you could venture into the Apple Podcasts app or your podcast app of choice and leave a review for the Space Shot. To those of you that have already left reviews, thank you. For everyone else, reviews are critical because a steady stream of them ensures that the Space Shot is more visible in the Apple Podcasts app. As always, the show notes have more information on today's episode. You can hit me up on Instagram and Twitter. Find me at John Molnix. I'm always up to chat. You can also connect with me on Facebook. Just search The Space Shot or check out the links in the show notes and you'll find me. Tomorrow, the first captive carry flight of the Enterprise. I'm John Molnix, and I'll catch you on the flip side.